Welcome back to the party. It is me, your girl BrittReacts, and today we're going to react to Ron White. I got thrown out of a bar. Let's see why.
I got thrown out of a bar in New York City.
Straight to the point. Straight to the point.
Now, when I say I got thrown out of a bar, I don't mean somebody asked me to leave. We walked to the door together, and I said, bye, everybody, I gotta go. 6 bouncers hurled me out of a nightclub like I was a Frisbee. Those big old bouncers that go home every night, watch Roadhouse, and beat off. You know what I'm talking about?
Not Fresh Prince style where Uncle Phil like threw Will out of the house. Okay, I was completely tickled by Ron White. That didn't flow the way I wanted it to. I thought it was funny in the reaction I did with tag nabbit, I forgot the name. The 4 guys that were telling the dad jokes. I think Bill Engvall was a part of it. And this man right here, Ron White, can I speak today? Ron White was on the end, smoking a cigar and drinking like scotch or whiskey or something. And in the middle of them lined up telling their dad jokes, he got up, walked around, went to the bar and poured himself another. And I'm like, this is everyone's favorite uncle. He can't stand any of us, but we all love him. He literally would rather be anywhere but here with us, but we love him. He's our favorite. He's always annoyed. He's a curmudgeon. He's brash, crass, and everything in between. He's curt, all those words. Probably some of them I used in the wrong way. Judge your mom, not me. And so I was like, I need to hear more from him because I feel like out of the 4 men on that panel, he was the one that spoke the least. Maybe because he was smoking and drinking more, but you know, I'm here for the party. I judge no one. I hope when I go to heaven, the Lord puts me in the VIP section. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a good time. So I relate to Ron White here. And lo and behold, he's got a wooden stool here full of all the accoutrements you would think that your favorite drunk uncle would have. And he's got something with smoke coming out of it in between his fingers. So this is on brand. All right, let's see what happened. This man got lifted up and tossed out of a bar.
Bouncers that go home every night, watch Roadhouse, and beat off. You know what I'm talking about?
That's awesome.
Swayze's hitting another guy.
What?
For wearing a hat. I walk into a bar with a hat on. This guy real pissy goes, took off the hat. I'm like, what's the deal? He goes, I'll tell you what the deal is. Faggots in this area wear hats. We're trying to keep them out of a club.
Were you in Boston? What's his accent?
Oh, really? The only way we can tell down south is if they have their hair cut like
you.
You're.
The delivery on that was so immaculate. Like, is he an actor? Because the way he said, yours. Why was that so good? It was so simple, but it was so good. I tend to agree with this perspective here. Like, some people, this is my opinion, doesn't have to be yours, take their job too serious. Like, you take your job too seriously. This is not your establishment. You don't own it. You don't pay the bills here. Why are you so pressed? My opinion. Sometimes people just got to lighten up. Like, I know, you know, no one wants to get up and go to a job they don't like to go to, but it's like, that's not my fault. Okay? It's not my fault. I'm just here to pay my money, patronize a place, and leave. And you know, I'm all for it. I don't follow the rules. I'm one of those that subscribes to like the rules are meant to be broken, or, you know, you bend them, or, you know, you apologize later. I'm one of those. I'm definitely one of those, if you were wondering. But I definitely also just don't understand why some people get so tight wound for a job that pays them $7.75 an hour. I said it. It's like, do your job, but like, don't stress yourself out on the way. You know what I mean? And that's $7.75 before taxes. Don't stress yourself out over that. You got bigger fish to fry. Don't do that. Because I wasn't doing it when I was getting paid minimum wage. Don't do it. I'm like, you know what? Like the security people who like fight people who are stealing in the stores, you could literally lose your life. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Oh, really? The only way?
I just got so far off. I really just want to hear him do this part again because it's so good.
Keep him out of a club.
A club.
I'm like, oh, really? The only way we could tell down south is if they have their hair cut like yours.
The swagger in that was so
And he got all pissed. But he walked away, and I took the hat off, and like an hour later, I'd been drinking, and I forgot. You ever forget? Happened to me. I put the hat back on. The guy comes over to me. Now, I'm between 6'1" and 6'6", depending on which convenience store I'm leaving. I weigh 235 pounds. This guy comes over to me, poking me in the shoulder with 2 fingers, says, "You're out of here." I'm like, "I don't think so, Scooter." And I was wrong. They hurled my ass. And then they squared off with me in the parking lot, and I backed down from the fight because I don't know how many of them it would have taken to whip my ass. But I knew how many they were going to use.
I'm sorry, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. So I just need y'all to flood the comments with what I need to react to next. I'm obsessed. He's so Southern. He's so nonchalant. He's so reckless. And I love it. I have an uncle he's Jamaican. But, you know, I believe that we're all the same. We all live the same life, but we like came from different places. And I feel like my uncle is the Jamaican version of this man. Loves a good drink, loves a good puff pass, loves a good joke, loves to, you know, maybe push your buttons a little bit. Like I need to watch more of Ron White. On top of the fact that he has this like almost gentleman-like swagger and delivery that, might I add, maybe a little attractive if you get where I'm going with that. Okay.
It's a handy little piece of information to have right there. Overkill. Well, they called the police because we broke a chair on the way out the door, and I refused to pay for it. And the cops showed up, and at that point,
good Lord,
I had the right to remain silent, but I didn't have the ability.
Ron White.
The cop says, "Mr. White, you are being charged with drunk in public." I was like, hi. I was drunk in a bar. They
put me into public.
Into public. I don't want to be drunk in public. I want to be drunk in a goddamn bar, which is perfectly legal. Arrest them.
Damn.
Well, he didn't arrest them. Instead, they call in for my arrest record.
Oh.
There's some good news. Satellites are linking up in outer space. Computer banks at NASA are kicking on.
He's so country. I can't. Satellite in outer space. Computer banking at NASA kicking on. Like, huh? I don't care. I love it. I don't care. All right, we got a rap sheet. Long as your resume.
Outer space. Computer banks at NASA are kicking on. There's a telegraph in Fritch, Texas going beep beep. This
man is hilarious.
This part takes a while.
Is that a fax machine?
Beep. Now, I told you that story to tell you this story.
Okay.
When I was 17 years old, I was arrested
I love a story in a story. Y'all know I love to tell a story in a story. I love to take the long route in storytelling. So Ron might be my uncle.
I'll tell you this story. When I was 17 years old, I was arrested for being drunk in public. Seemed to be a pattern. If you knew Morse code, you would already know that. And one DWI was with a bogus charge because it turns out they were stopping every vehicle traveling down that particular sidewalk. And that's profiling. I believe. And the drunken public charge and Fritz, the arresting officer, who I had literally known all my life. You know what I mean? This guy lived 4 doors down from me in a town of less than 400 people. We've met. He takes me to jail. When we get there, he asked me if I have any aliases, and I was just being a smart ass and said, yeah.
Wait, is this the cop that arrested him at the bar or the cop that arrested him for driving on the sidewalk with pedestrian traffic? I love his wittiness and normally things are going over my head, but I'm catching all this. Like the Morse code thing, but he just did the beep, 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 beep of the like telegram. And then he went back and said, if you understood Morse code, I just told you that. It's like, these things are so quick, but they're so funny, but they also feel like highly intelligent. I think I've only inducted one other comedian into the PDC, maybe, and I'm not even sure who it is. But Ron White feels like he has the capability, just his mouth, his smart mouth. You know how like good girls love bad guys? Like it's like that, like his smart mouth makes me want to induct him into the PDC. Do you? Okay.
Jail. When we get there, he asked me if I have any aliases, and I was just being a smart ass and said, yeah. They call me Tater Salad.
I love potato salad, but what?
17 years later in New York City, I'm handcuffed on a bench with blood coming out of my nose. This cop goes, are you Ron Tater Salad White? You caught me. You caught the tater. You can take down those roadblocks now. I call my son Tater Tot. And Poot.
Oh, Poot. That's so Southern, Poot. I actually cannot stand the word pooted in relation to a fart. It drives me crazy. Okay, so now I got the answer to my question. That was then the 17-year-old, and then the last bit of the story was him in his 30s. 34 to be exact, I think. All right. I don't know where to go from here, but I want to explore all things Ron White and laughter. So let me know in the comments, because I think he might need to be inducted into the PDC. So if you have the bit that'll do that, I accept your challenge. All right? We ride at dawn. Go and have the day you deserve. Bye, guys.